well today. I have been asked this question so many times, especially here recently with a lot of candidates that are trying to prepare for interviews or perhaps they have a big presentation that comes up and they want to know, how do I respond to a question when I don't know the answer? Have you ever experienced this? I know I have experienced this many times. And you want to make sure that you're presenting your best foot forward, especially when you have an interview or big presentation to make. What people fail to realize is these moments help to define your career. So, in this very brief live today, I'm going to share with you three strategies that you can use that will help you be able to think on your feet and to be able to answer questions when you do not know the answers to them. Now, if you want to learn more detail, because this is definitely an advanced level in terms of instruction as it relates to communications. But if you want to go into a lot more detail and learn even more strategies and more advanced level techniques to really help you elevate how you're communicating and that will allow you to communicate at a higher level than your peers, then I encourage you to subscribe to this channel, subscribe to my YouTube channel here at Excite Excellence, and stay tuned to see when I'm going to be releasing a couple free masterclasses that will come up here very soon. So I want to make sure you have that available. One is going to be on public speaking and presentation. The second is going to be on interview preparation and probably touching briefly on salary negotiation. We have executive presence is going to be a masterclass also. And in addition to that, we're going to have one specifically on elite communication skills. So you're going to want to learn as much as you can from these free masterclasses while they are available. So you've probably been in situations like this where you don't know what to say, you're not exactly sure how you should respond to a question that you're asked in an interview or in any other type of setting. So I'm going to share with you three strategies that are going to help you on your journey. The very first strategy that I would recommend for you to try to do is, in order to prepare yourself for these situations when they come up, because ladies, guess what? They will come up. You will want to spend some time being able to plan ahead. Believe it or not, being able to communicate at a higher level has a lot to do with planning. So if you're able to be very organized in your thoughts and you can plan ahead, then you will absolutely be able to communicate at a higher level, which will help you obtain a higher salary, generate more revenue for your business, or place yourself in a situation where you're elevating your career. So what you can do, if you have found yourself in a situation where you are asked a question and you don't know what to say, you're not really sure how to respond, is to, first strategy, plan ahead and do your research. Specifically, what I mean by this is typically when we have conversations that are coming up, majority of them are somewhat planned, or they may have an agenda or something along those lines. So if you know in advance, let's say you're doing a presentation and you're going to be having a conversation about a specific topic, then you will want to research as much as you possibly can for that specific topic so that you are prepared for questions when they come up. That's the first strategy, is really plan in advance and be able to research as much as you can. You should try your best to become the subject matter expert as much as you can. You may not be able to know everything, but as much as you can when you are asked a question, so that when you respond, it appears that you are, one, very confident, two, know what you're talking about, and three, are capable of thinking on your feet. So those are some really great techniques to try to do. That is the foundation of being able to think on your feet. I've given you the best advice I can give you is you have to plan ahead. You have to do some research in advance. Now I'm going to go into the second strategy that will help you be able to communicate better in an interview, think on your feet when you don't know the answers, and respond accordingly. Are you ready? Put something in the comments below if you have found this to be helpful so far. The second strategy that will help you be able to think on your feet is to use the information that you learned as a reference when you are responding to the question. A great example of this would be as follows. Let's say, for instance, you looked at a article while you were preparing for your presentation. You looked at an article, you looked at some other type of journal or reliable source that has some information about the specific topic you're referring to. If you use some statistics, and I'm very big on using some statistics or some data, some numbers, or something that's associated with this article, you can use this information to respond back to the person that is asking you a question that you do not know the answer to. A great example would be as follows. Someone asks you a question, you could say, I saw in this particular journal or this particular article or this particular data set that there were a specified number of individuals, people, patients, clients, or whatever your specific topic is that had this particular scenario that relates to the question that you had. When you're able to use the information that you have, it positions you as someone in the field of being an expert and that is an authority in this particular topic. Now, this will be very, very helpful to you because a lot of people struggle with thinking on their feet and they're not sure exactly how to do it. But I'm sharing with you secrets and strategies I've learned over the past 20 years as a public speaker, a C-suite executive, manager, and director that will help you. So when you're able to reference some of the information you learn, it automatically shows that person that you're speaking to that's asking you a question that you know something that they perhaps do not know. And you spent a lot of time being able to answer this type of question. I have seen this in so many scenarios where it has truly helped people to be able to advance in their careers and do wonderful things. Now, my third strategy that I'm going to share with you, now we've talked about two so far. We talked about two strategies. So the two strategies that will help you to think on your feet when you're asked a question that you do not know the answer to. The first is to plan ahead and to research in advance so you know a lot of information, you collect a very good knowledge base for yourself. And the second is to be able to use some of that information that you referred to and reference it back when you respond. We talked about that briefly. So if you're watching the replay, you want to go back and watch that particular part that I talked about. And the third strategy is the most important strategy, and that is to respond. You're going to need to actually say something. And so when you're responding back to people and you're not sure of how you want to respond or what you want to say, I have some very, very high level techniques and strategies that I will share with you in my masterclass. So you're going to want to sign up for that. I'm not going to share it in the video, but I will share with you what will help you get started. And that will be to either say thank you for the question, thank you for the statement, or if you do not want to say thank you for the question or thank you for the statement, then I would simply say, this is what I've seen so far. This is what I would recommend, or to answer your question and then answer the question in that way. So these are some strategies that you can start working on today as a woman in leadership that will help you be able to think on your feet. And if you are just now joining the live today, thank you for joining. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. I have just went over 3 strategies. Now there's more. There's a lot more strategies I can go into, but I'm going to share with you 3 strategies that you need to start using right now to help you think on your feet when you do not know the answers to the questions. That can help you in the interview, can help you in a presentation or a conversation. So the first strategy is to plan ahead and do research in advance so you know what type of knowledge base that you need to have so that you can be able to answer those questions. The second strategy is to be able to reference some of the information that you learned back in the response that you give. You could say, in this article, I saw this. In this particular document, I reviewed that. Something along those lines. And finally, the third strategy is you have to respond. You have to respond and say something back. And in that response, you can say, thank you for the question. I appreciate your insight. Here's what I've seen, and etc. These are strategies that will absolutely help you be able to think on your feet. Now, I want to know from you, which of these strategies did you like the most? Place them in the comments below. Let me know what your thoughts are. I know a lot of people struggle with this. I have a lot of clients that talk to me about, how do you think on your feet? How can you do that? How do you do that? A lot of it comes through training. So if you are wanting to get more insight in terms of how you are communicating, sign up for the communication skills audit that is in the description listed below. And that will help you. I'll be able to give you some great insight there. But a lot of it is practice. Practice, practice, practice. Practice speaking, practice engaging with other people and having conversations. And you're going to run across times where you're going to be able to answer the questions very easily. And then sometimes it might be a bit more challenging. And if you want some insight on how to answer questions in perhaps contentious situations or that are a bit more challenging, then we need to have a conversation. So reach out to me at info@exciteexcellence.org. Let me know that you want to have a conversation, and we'll schedule some time to have a discussion about where you are, what are some challenges that you're facing, and how you can really think on your feet at all times. I hope this information has been helpful to you. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. Let me know which one was your favorite strategy, and if you have some additional strategies that you have used in the past, place them in the comments below so we all can learn. So I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next video.